Hey everybody, Garrett from AppMap here with a feature release announcement. Today we are excited to announce the release of filtering for sequence diagrams when you are on our VS Code extension. So what that does and what it gives you access to is the ability to kind of reduce some of these views. It's one of the most requested features we have because, as you can see, I have a sequence diagram in front of me here, and it's pretty extensive. It's pretty big. There's a lot of different things here inside the sequence diagram, a lot of living threads living vertically throughout our diagram that we can see the interactions with. Some of them are pretty long. It's hard to keep track of what's actually happening and where things are going on. So we've created a way to filter out anything you don't want and only see the information you do. So, as always, we've had these tiles up here. We can expand these. We can get rid of these, and this is nothing new, but we can get rid of some of these features. The difference is when I hit this refresh button, they all come back. So what we've created is the ability to create a live view and then save that view as a filter for future app maps that we can apply either blanket across the board by setting it as a default or pick and choose kind of which app maps we apply it to. And the coolest part about the application of that is that that view will stay for you as long as the app map remains open. And to switch views, you actually just change the filter. So what I mean by that, I'm going to demonstrate it a little bit and talk my way through it. So we've got this massive app map, and the first thing I like to do is I don't care about active support, action pack, JSON, OpenSSL, the logger, anything that has to do with the actual framework that I'm using. So first things first, I'm going to come up here to the filter button in the upper right-hand corner, and I'm going to immediately get rid of that by saying hide all external code. And you'll notice what that did, if I click back over here, is it got rid of everything except for my controllers, my views, my models, and my database calls. So we're going to come back up here, and I really like this view, but the other thing is I don't really care about HTTP server requests either, because I know it's coming in through a GET request, so I'm going to exit that out. And what you'll notice is that created a little tag down here that says hide, underneath hide name, hide HTTP server requests. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it. So we're going to do that as well with views, and I just want to see the interaction between my controllers, my models, and my database. What is actually happening? What things are being propagated across the board? And as I did that, you can see that I'm hiding things, but it's still acting as though it's coming from an HTTP GET request. So the quickest way we can do that is as root, what we can do is we can say, I want to see my controller. And we can kind of scroll through here and see the controllers. And we can see package app controllers. And what that does is it sets our new root to the controller, so we can see a change graph comes in, we see the root controller, and then we get information about how it lives. And if you are unfamiliar with how to read a sequence diagram or how they work or why it would matter to change your root, I'm leaving links in the descriptions down below to explain kind of all of that information and how you do things. However, we've built this cool feature and we've built this really cool filter. I don't want it to go away. So what I can do now is I can save this as controller model, and let's call it DB, controller model database. And I'm going to save the filters, and it's going to give me a filter name. Awesome. Now what happens if I open a new app map? If I open a new app map, you'll notice the filters reset and everything is back. And this is a pretty big one as well. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come up here to the filter. And since I've already set that view or that filter, I'm just going to click on it and say controller model database. That's what I want to see. I'm going to hit apply. This one in our case doesn't have models. It'll show whatever it does have, but it shows us controller database just like we wanted to. And we're going to edit this filter a little bit. I want to see my HTTP server requests, and it automatically set that as root just because I haven't saved a new root. So I'm going to show this as requests, controllers, and then we're going to DB, right? Save it as filter. And for this one, I'm actually going to set it as the default. So I want all app maps to look at this, and we're going to open it, or look like this. We're going to open a new one. And you'll notice immediately it pops up with my default already set. If I want to change that and show more, all I have to do is come down here and we can put it back to the app map default and just see how big this app map was. And we can see that it filtered out quite a bit. We got exactly the view that we wanted to. So that's a brief overview and introduction to our amazing filtering feature that we have just released and are proud to announce. You can use this in a number of different ways. The power behind it is incredible. I encourage you all to use it, and thank you all for joining me. We'll see you next time.